One, two, three. Take it away.
The early bird. One bright fall morning, when I got close to the cabin at about 8 o'clock, I stopped at a place to hunt. Rusty and I found lots of woodcock, and we got our limit in short order and headed off for the cabin. At about 10 o'clock, Tom and Jerry came over to visit. They started to figure out where they should hunt and asked what I thought would be a good place. I showed them my 5 birds and said, I got these already this morning. They were utterly amazed. Of course, I didn't miss very many of them either. Okay. One more page here. Oh, here it is. Dad told me a rabbit hunting story that happened before he was married. He and some of his friends drove way out into the country somewhere, and they came to a farm where the farmer had a couple of rabbits hanging on the fence. Farmers did this with nuisances such as groundhogs and crows. They figured that this farm must have too many rabbits, so they asked the farmer about hunting them on his farm. He had a huge big pile of tree limbs, boards, etc. that he was getting ready to burn. So he told Dad and his friends, just get around the brush pile and the rabbits should run out when I light it. Sure enough, the rabbits came out as fast as they could shoot and reload. A number of them had their fur singed. Dad said, I think I brought home 25 rabbits that day. I didn't ever see that many rabbits before or after. When Carl was about 3 years old, he had a little wooden gun which Daddy, me, had made for him, and a little light brown hoppy horse. He took them along to Peoria for a visit with Grandma and Grandpa Brugger. One morning he went out with his gun and his horse. After a while he came back to the house and said, I shot a rabbit. When Carl was about 9 or 10 years old, my dad thought it was about time for him to use the family 410. I took Carl rabbit hunting around the farm at Mom and Dad's. I ran a rabbit out of a brush pile and it stopped a long ways out. I thought it was too far to shoot, but there was no stopping Carl. He raised the gun and took a shot. The rabbit fell over dead. Just fell over dead. When I skinned and dressed the rabbit, there was one pellet in that rabbit. It was right in the middle of his neck. Showed him, boy. Oh, let's see what else looks good. When Carl was about 8 years old, we went ice fishing in the evening after dark a few times. We used minnows and fished for crappies. When I tried to hook a fish, I almost always missed. Carl rarely missed. We developed a strategy for catching the fish. Carl sat on the fishing box and watched both poles. When the bobber went down on one of them, he would set the hook and bring the fish in. My job was to take the fish off and put a new minnow on. Carl kept his hands warm and dry over the lantern. Mine got wet and froze, but we caught a lot of fish that way. It worked. Find something with one of your sisters.
Yeah, you're telling plenty of stories on me here.
Yeah.
Let them in on the fun.
Yeah. Well, I know I have some, I just have to find them.
Yeah, that's fine. Here, let's take a little break.
Yeah.